In the dim glow of La Bella Notte, a hidden gem tucked into the cobblestone alleys of Chicago's Little Italy, Isabella Rossi moved like a shadow among the velvet booths. At 28, with raven hair cascading in loose waves and emerald eyes that saw too much, she was the heart of the restaurant. Her grandmother had built this place from nothing, a sanctuary for immigrants chasing dreams amid the city's underbelly. Isabella served with a smile that disarmed secrets, her laughter a melody that lingered like aged Chianti. But beneath her grace lay scars, her father's unsolved murder, a bullet meant for a rival, leaving her to guard the family legacy alone. Across the room, in booth 9, the one reserved for whispers of power, sat Vincent Moretti, the enigmatic 45-year-old boss of the Moretti syndicate. His salt and pepper hair was slicked back, his tailored suit hiding tattoos of forgotten oaths. To the world, he was a ghost in pinstripes, commanding loyalty through fear. But tonight, exhaustion etched his face, whispers of betrayal circled his empire like vultures. He dined alone, a rarity, nursing a plate of osso buco and a glass of Barolo, his mind on his daughter, Sophia, whom he hadn't seen in months. Retirement beckoned, a quiet life in Tuscany, far from the blood money. The restaurant hummed with life, clinking glasses, murmured deals, the sizzle of garlic in olive oil. Isabella approached Vincent's table, her notepad a shield. Buonasera, Mr. Moretti. The special tonight is veal scallopine, or shall I tempt you with Nonna's risotto? Vincent glanced up, his steel-gray eyes softening for a fraction. The risotto, Isabella, and keep the wine flowing. His voice was gravel wrapped in silk, a command disguised as courtesy. She nodded, pouring his refill with steady hands, but as she turned, her gaze snagged on a man at the bar, mid-30s, olive skin, a scar slicing his jaw like a lightning bolt. He nursed her espresso, his eyes locked on Vincent, fingers twitching toward his coat pocket. Isabella's pulse quickened. She'd seen that look before, in the faded photos of her father's last night. She wove through the crowd, heart pounding, but paused at the kitchen pass. Marco, the sous chef and her cousin, slid a plate toward her. For booth 9, extra truffle, per his request. As she lifted it, a flicker caught her eye, the rim of Vincent's wine glass, refilled moments ago by the bartender, a new hire, twitchy and evasive. A faint, unnatural sheen clung to the crystal's edge, invisible to most but screaming poison to her trained senses. Nonna had taught her the signs, the subtle iridescence of ricin lace drops, her assassin's silent kiss. Time fractured. The scarred man rose, hand delving into his coat. Isabella's mind raced. Scream, and chaos erupts, alert security, and Vincent's men turn the place into a war zone. No, subtlety was her weapon. She balanced the risotto plate and glided back, her steps a dancer's poise. Vincent reached for his glass, mid-sip, as she arrived. Their eyes met. In that instant, she saw the weariness in him, the man behind the myth. Don't speak, she whispered, her voice a thread of silk over steel, lips curving in a server's smile to mask the urgency. She set the plate down with deliberate slowness, her free hand brushing his, a feather-light touch that knocked the glass sideways, spilling ruby liquid across the linen like spilled blood. The scarred man froze, inches from his mark, feigning a stumble into a waiter. Vincent's brow furrowed, but he obeyed, lips parting then sealing shut. Isabella leaned in, feigning a spill cleanup, her breath warm against his ear. Poison in your wine. Scar on the jaw at the bar. Your left, 2 o'clock. Act natural. She straightened, dabbing the table with theatrical flair, her laughter ringing out to cover the tension. Clumsy me. Let me fetch a fresh pour, Signor. In the blur of motion, Vincent's hand slipped under the table, signaling his shadow across the room, a burly enforcer who melted into the crowd. The scarred man bolted for the door, but Vincent's man intercepted him in the alley, a muffled scuffle ending in sirens wailing distant. Isabella returned with untainted wine, her face a mask of innocence, but her hands trembled as she poured. Vincent waited until the restaurant's pulse steadied, the patrons oblivious to the storm averted. You saved my life, he murmured, his voice low, laced with awe. Why risk it? You could have walked away. Isabella met his gaze, unflinching. Because this place, it's more than plates and wine. It's family, and I've lost enough to shadows. She hesitated, then added softly, Sophia called earlier. Said her papa misses her bedtime stories. His eyes widened. How did she know? A flicker of vulnerability cracked his armor. You listen well. Servers see everything, she replied, a sad smile ghosting her lips. Go home to her, Vincent. The world's better without more ghosts. He didn't leave that night. Instead, he lingered, drawing her into conversation over shared tiramisu. Stories spilled. His rise from orphan streets, the weight of commands that cost souls, her quiet battles, rebuilding after loss, dreaming of expanding La Bella Notte into a haven for the overlooked. Dawn crept in, painting the windows gold, when Vincent stood. Join me tomorrow, he said, not a request. Not as a waitress, as a partner. Isabella laughed, but his eyes held a promise. In the weeks that followed, she became his silent sentinel, advising on deals with her street-sharp intuition, turning his empire toward legitimacy, investments in community centers, scholarships for kids like young Sophia. Vincent, once a king of fear, found redemption in her light. He sponsored the restaurant's growth, but more, he became the father he longed to be, tucking Sophia in with tales of brave waitresses who slayed dragons with whispers. One evening, as snow dusted the alleys, Vincent slipped a velvet box across Isabella's counter. Inside, a locket etched with, "Don't speak, live. For the woman who taught me silence holds the loudest truths." Tears welled in her emerald eyes. In saving him, she'd mended her own fractured heart. La Bella Notte thrived, no longer just a restaurant, but a beacon, proof that in the shadows, one observant soul could rewrite fates, turning poison into possibility. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles. If it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us.